Is this what you want? This fucking foliage? Is this what you want? Mr. Dips? Is this what you want? Me standing in front of EC3 buying designer coats? Is this what you want? Me sitting in some hipster hotel in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, fluffing pillows? Is this what you want? I don't believe this. This graffiti art, the hotels, avocado toast. All I want is a fucking Guinness. An ice cold Guinness. What the hell does that mean? Oh, this is what you wanted. This is your Monday Night Raw review right here on Off the Script. Oh, man. Man, was I glad I was home in my PJs with a nice cup of hot tea on a nice, cool, brisk April evening. Raw after Mania, we're all excited. Fresh start, they say. Fresh start is the Raw after Mania. New angles, new storylines, debuts, excitement in the air, hot crowd. A crowd that we wish we had all year. What does WWE do on the Raw after WrestleMania? Which, by the way, I need to reiterate this because the amount of stupidity that I've seen in the last 48 hours coming from TakeOver is absolutely out of this world. Out of this fucking world. Not even, 72 hours? I can't even fucking count, man. That's how fucking brain dead WWE has made me all weekend. Ever since Friday. We had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And now we got this Raw after Mania bullshit that we have to tackle. And then we got SmackDown Live tomorrow. It never ends. Never ends. But the amount of stupidity I've seen coming out of TakeOver, at the end of TakeOver, leading all the way up until Monday Night Raw. We had WrestleMania on Sunday night. People were legitimately bashing me over the fact that I thought it was a decent WrestleMania. I don't know what the fuck you were watching. I mean, if you had one choice of up or down, it certainly wasn't a down show. I don't know what you want me to gauge it off of. Then I had the other side of the fence that were arguing with me, well, JD, I thought it was an 8 or 9 out of 10. I don't know if you need to go back to school and work on your mathematics, or maybe you're just that fucking stupid. Like Brian Alvarez called out somebody today on social media, is your gimmick of a fucking retard? Is that your professional wrestling gimmick? Fucking stupid? WrestleMania, an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Just look at Friday's TakeOver show. That show was a 9.5. Easy. Easy. There was 3 5-star classics on that show. Then you had Pete Dunne and Walter, which was at least a 4 or 4.5. The women would get like a 3.5, maybe a close to a 4. 9.5 out of 10. Easy, that show. And you're claiming that WrestleMania is 8.5 or a 9 out of 10? Man, you're fucking, your ways to gauge shows and rate shows is completely mind-numbingly fucking ridiculous. Please, use your logic. Use your logic. WrestleMania was a 6. 6.5, I'd give it. And that's being generous. Because that second half was completely fucking garbage. I thought I was watching Monday Night Raw with 80,000 fucking people in attendance. Meanwhile, they put 80,000 fucking people to sleep at MetLife Center in New Jersey. Shadow of New York, whatever the fuck you guys are going and calling yourself nowadays. Listen, Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania is supposed to be a fresh start. It's supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to be the day in which it signals new in WWE. And all we got was, well, We did a little bit too much partying last night after WrestleMania, so we're going to give the fans what we usually give them with, a debut here or a return here. Maybe we'll do The Undertaker over there. Nobody's going to know the difference. Everybody will jump up and scream and have a good time and spend $16 on a fucking Heineken. And what we get? We got one of the worst Raw After Mania shows I have ever seen. And the balls on WWE for doing what they did tonight, which there'll be some fucking idiot in the comments section who doesn't agree with me because he is either A, hard of hearing, or B, afraid of the truth, so he's got to run along and tell his other fucking cronies and cretins on Reddit or on Twitter with a fucking anonymous Twitter profile picture. JD's a fucking asshole, he's always negative, he's this, he's that. Listen, this was the biggest fucking crock of shit I have ever seen WWE do. This was the biggest bait and switch fuck you that WWE bestowed upon its fans in a very, very long time. Get this. Seth Rollins just won the Universal Championship. How many times did we say over the past 24 hours how this was a good thing for WWE to have the title back on Seth Rollins? The crowd even acknowledged it. Full-time champion, they started chanting. I don't understand why WWE doesn't take this and comprehend it. Full-time champion. This was needed. The title was back on Raw for the first time in fucking God knows how long on a guy who is there every single week. Then they bring out Kofi Kingston, the WWE champion. He just won the title in a great match. One of the best moments, if not the best moment, on Sunday night at WrestleMania. And they have Kofi Kingston challenge Seth Rollins in a winner-take-all match for both championships. Both championships are on the line. I don't know if you are stupid or you are just one of those people who don't really like this type of thing. But to me, I even tweeted it on social media, this is something that I'm all in on. I am so in favor of this happening right now because this is something that Monday Night Raw has needed for a very long time. I don't even remember the last time the Universal Championship was A, defended, and B, in the main event on Monday Night Raw. And here we have a match that transcends WWE right now in 2019. Could very well go down if everything went off the way it should have. One of the most important matches in this post-draft era here in WWE. Brand split era in WWE. And what do? Fuck you to the fans. The biggest bait and switch fuck you I have ever seen. And you know why they did it? They announced that match at the 8 o'clock hour. The 8 o'clock hour. Now, I was scouring around on social media, and I seen people talking about the basketball game, the NCAA Finals. And I'm like, oh shit. So here we go. That's happening tonight. And here we have this big match. I'm thinking, well, WWE is smart to do something that's completely out of their comfort zone, out of the box, and put this match on in the main event. Okay, that's great. That's a really, really good move to combat people from picking up the remote control and going over to watch the basketball game. And here we have Monday Night Raw, where the WWE and Universal Championships are on the line in the main event. It's a pretty decent fucking move there. But what did they do? WWE didn't want to give you this match. They had no plans for anything revolving around this winner-take-all match. They booked this match simply to bait you into watching the fucking show, and then within 5 minutes of the show ending, they bring out Sheamus and Cesaro to fuck the entire thing up and make an impromptu tag team match featuring Kofi Kingston teaming with Seth Rollins against Sheamus and Cesaro of the Bar. If that doesn't tell you that WWE thinks you're a fucking idiot, I don't know what to tell you. They did a bait and switch to get you to watch the main event so that you won't go over to watch the NCAA Finals. Absolutely fucking sickening. Absolutely pathetic on WWE's behalf. And then people will be in the comments, this was a good show. This was a great Raw after Mania. It gave me what I wanted. What the fuck did it give you? What did it give you? There was no Ronda, there was no Charlotte, there was no big debut, even though we had a rating of NXT already. I didn't really anticipate anybody being called up. There was not one big debut. Sami Zayn returned in a losing effort. The Undertaker came back to chokeslam and tombstone Elias. What was there that was so great? And such, Raw after Mania-esque? Give me a fucking break. Take the fucking glasses off and watch the show for what it really is. Bullshit. Fucking garbage. One of the worst Raw after Manias I've ever fucking seen. WWE should be ashamed of yourself. And you know what? I don't give a fuck how heartless I am. I don't give a shit how cold-hearted you think I am. For everybody that was in that arena, I have absolutely zero compassion for you. Zero compassion for you. Every time you buy a ticket that this company has a show to, and you see the logo WWE Raw on it, you know what you're walking into. You should be ashamed of yourself for even being in that fucking arena tonight. I don't know who spent money on tickets to be there, but man, you must feel like the biggest fucking piece of shit that walks this fucking planet. I seriously mean that. And I'm home here in my fucking pajamas watching the fucking show from my couch with a nice cold cup of iced coffee, and you're sitting there watching fucking a huge main event go up in smoke because WWE said, fuck you. The NCAA game is on. We need something to fucking have these people stick with us. And we'll just send the bar out there and say, fuck you. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, 7 babyface champions, or 7 new champions, rather. I don't know if they were all babyfaces. But 7 new champions walked out of WrestleMania. The funniest thing I heard all week was WWE's listening to their fans. The McMahon New Era Initiative is slowly taking shape. Where? Tonight's show obviously proved otherwise. They don't give a fuck about you. Man, this show is a fucking disgrace. Absolutely god-awful. Anyway, man, this is Monday Night Raw. This is your Raw After Mania review. I am JD. You guys know the deal. Please follow me on social media. At JD from NY206 on both Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Patreon.com/JD from NY206 if you guys want to support the podcast through Patreon. Check out the videos if you missed them, man. WrestleMania review is over 50,000 views in less than 11 hours. You guys are absolutely fucking unbelievable. Yeah, it has to do with the fact that it's WrestleMania, but the fact that we are about 3,000 likes in, and the video has not even been up to anywhere close to 24 hours. That's a fucking resounding success, man. So thank you guys so very much. I don't know how I did it. I really don't know how I did it. I actually watched all of the show. I sat there in my living room with my fucking iPad. I took extensive notes as if I was fucking writing for The Observer. And I sat here after an 8-hour show, and I gave you a 2-hour and 10-minute podcast covering all of WrestleMania. To say I'm exhausted is an understatement. And here I am at 11:30 doing a Monday Night Raw review. So thank you guys so very much. If you missed it, link is in the annotation, and everything else that you might have missed this week, man. NXT TakeOver predictions, WrestleMania predictions, NXT TakeOver New York review. Thank you guys so very much for that. I wasn't in my usual setting, but you guys loved it anyway. I even have an off-the-script extra detailing Jim Ross's new deal with AEW. Make sure you guys go and check all that stuff out in the top right corner of your screen. Make sure you guys go and get your t-shirts, man. Bonfire.com, the exclusive home of JD's Elites. Link for your merchandise store or the official merchandise shop on Bonfire is linked down below in the description. Make sure you guys go and do that. And thank you very much to all that has purchased t-shirts this week. Let's hit this Monday Night Raw, man. Monday Night Raw opened with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins comes out. He's the first thing that we see on Raw after slaying the Beast and bringing the Universal Championship back home. He's wearing his new Beast Slayer t-shirt. Smiled and pointed at the belt. He was very happy to be in this position. And he is just living in the moment. He's living in the moment. He is excited about being the Universal Champion. And he's listening to all the fans chant his name. And it was just a really good moment. I'm a big Seth Rollins guy, and I'm proud that he is the guy that is leading the charge on Monday Night Raw. A lot of people don't like Seth Rollins for whatever reason. You might not like him. I think Seth Rollins is going to do a great job as Universal Champion. It's WWE's job to put heels in front of him that are going to make believable storylines. And it's WWE's job to put heels in front of him that are going to bring out the best in Seth Rollins. So hopefully they do that. Seth is in the ring and people are chanting, "You deserve it." He's like, no. We deserve it. He says that he's waited a long time to stand in the ring and hold that title, the Universal title, above his head. He says he beat the most dominant champion in WWE history. And then the fans again chanted, "Thank you, Rollins." I may have taken what some might call questionable tactics to gain an advantage. And he said, truth is, he didn't do anything to Brock that he wouldn't have done to himself. So there you go. Now, that's a great way of looking at it. By any means necessary, I guess. And fans loved it. They ate it up. It started WrestleMania off in the best way possible. Seth said he heard Lesnar and Heyman flew back to Las Vegas for some quote-unquote meetings. We all know that Dana White and UFC are based out of Vegas. There you go. Make with that what you want. He said as far as he's concerned, they can stay in Vegas because Brock is no longer the reigning, defending, undisputed. And everybody was wanting Undisputed Era from NXT tonight. I don't know where this rumor got started, but it was all over Twitter for the Raw After Mania show. Defending undisputed heavyweight champion, he held the belt up and said, "I'm going to do you one better. I am the reigning, defending, fighting, undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion." I wanted him to throw in full time in there, but he didn't do it. He said he would be a champion that everyone can be proud of. Now, we knew someone was going to interrupt. I was expecting a new debut or a new challenger for Seth Rollins, a new storyline being built for him. Maybe Roman Reigns, which I'll get to in a second. But the New Day interrupted. The New Day of SmackDown Live. Fuck the brand split. Doesn't really mean anything anymore. New Day interrupted. Seth Rollins was very confused at this when he heard the New Day's music hit the PA system. Michael Cole, by the way, still nobody gave him a lozenge or a cough drop or anything after WrestleMania. The man sounded completely fucking done to a point where his voice was completely hoarse all night. There was no intensity. There was no emotion. This guy went through an 8-hour fucking show, and he's back doing another 3 hours on Monday Night Raw, man. Now, Michael Cole, you might not love him. Some of you might actually like him. I don't really know. But I think the majority of us do not like Michael Cole, but you got to give the fucking guy credit. For him to do that and come back and do Monday Night Raw back-to-back nights with the voice that he has right now, that's a fucking trooper. Not many people would be able to do that, but Michael Cole clearly been doing it for over 21 years, 22 years. You know, there's really nobody else that could really do that. And Michael Cole, you got to give it to him, man. He is a fucking professional. That's all I'll say. That's my positivity towards Michael Cole for the evening. New Day comes out. Fans are chanting Kofi. Everybody's excited to see Kofi. Now, I mentioned there is no brand split initiative. It's completely out the fucking window. But we're getting a superstar shakeup next week. We're getting a superstar shakeup on Raw and SmackDown. Raw superstars are going to end up on SmackDown. SmackDown superstars are going to end up on Monday Night Raw. You know the deal. It's like one big snow globe. You shake it up wherever the fucking flakes fall. Kofi said Seth really looks confused. Seth says, yes, it's Monday. It's not Tuesday. He says this isn't the superstar shakeup because that's happening next week. WWE kind of threw it in there. Cheap plug for next week via a Kofi Kingston promo. He said they're on Raw because last night was a cause for celebration and they couldn't wait until SmackDown Live. Xavier Woods acknowledged Seth's win over Lesnar for the Universal title. Big E then ended up doing a full-legged split with his legs, or split leg, one of those fucking acrobatic splits, whatever the fuck you call them. Everyone was absolutely enthralled by Big E. And Big E was just like living it up. He was just soaking it all in. The fans just fucking loved it for whatever reason. Now, fans were chanting Big E, but Kofi quickly went right back to addressing Seth Rollins. Kofi said after his match, he was in the locker room watching the main event that was winner take all with his two sons and he thought it was a great idea for Becky Lynch. So, what I'm saying now is, how about the new Universal Champion and the new WWE Champion have a winner-take-all match here tonight? Fans broke out into a massive yes chant. Kofi said, since him and the boys are going to be in the back, well, the New Day is going to be in the back, rather, and the Shield aren't a thing anymore, it'll just be them one-on-one for the title for title. Seth stepped up, stared Kofi in the face, and Seth said, challenge accepted. Now, I did actually do a little thinking on this, and I wrote my thoughts down here. Now, Kofi Kingston challenging Seth Rollins in the grand scheme of things could have really been a major deal for Monday Night Raw, and WWE, all they did was use this as a catalyst to get people to watch the end of the show because of the NCAA finals. That is the biggest bait and switch fuck you I have ever seen from WWE, especially with a match of this magnitude following WrestleMania. The Universal Championship has not been on Monday Night Raw or defended on Monday Night Raw in many years because of Brock Lesnar holding that title hostage. And here we are getting what we want after so long, and WWE pulls the rug right out from underneath us. If that isn't WWE not giving a fuck about the fans, I don't know what is. Now, the thought of this sounds great, and everyone has these illusions. I know I did. Are they going to unify the titles? Are we going to do away with the brand split? You know, clearly Becky Lynch winning the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships have given people this illusion that the division, me especially, I've been talking about it for fucking years, that the division's going to be merged, that they're going to introduce a new title, one title for the entirety of the division, and both, the Raw and SmackDown Women's divisions are going to be on both Monday and Tuesday night. Everyone has these visions of merging rosters back together after what Becky did at WrestleMania, but it really doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense because it's not something that someone would do in that situation after fighting for that title and going through what Kofi went through to come back less than 24 hours after he won it and risk it all going all in on a show that he doesn't even belong on. Why would he come out on Monday Night Raw after going through so much trial and tribulation, so much heartache, so much frustration, to come back on night one and put the title on the line against Seth Rollins on a show that is not even yours? Where is the enjoyment in the moment? If you're Kofi Kingston, why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. Why would he not want to enjoy it? I got a better question. Why would he not want one of his boys to get the first crack at the title? Big E or Xavier Woods? Why is it Seth Rollins? I don't know. It isn't really WrestleMania season anymore, and it's reset for Raw. Remember, it's reset day for Monday Night Raw. WWE is still towing the line of brand split and no brand split. Also, WWE making the match with the notion of the Shield and the New Day staying away from ringside, or whatever the fuck is left of the Shield, staying away at ringside. Yet intriguing and surprising, because there could be a possible debut, and I think we are all under the assumption that when this was announced that this match was not going to end clean, Kofi was not going to take the Universal Championship to SmackDown, and Seth Rollins was not going to take the WWE Championship to Monday Night Raw. So we knew that this wasn't going to end clean. We knew that this wasn't going to, end the brand split. But the notion of Kofi wanting to defend the title immediately after going through all that trouble to win it, that just didn't make any sense to me. That really didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. So I was okay with this announcement. This was a decent way to open the show. It got people fucking excited. Champion versus champion match after what we've seen at WrestleMania with both guys winning their respective matches and their titles. It's a great deal. But by the end of the night, it meant absolutely nothing. And WWE flushed this moment right down the toilet just to fucking bait and switch everybody watching at home from going over to CBS and watching the NCAA basketball final. Absolutely fucking pathetic by WWE that they have so little care for their audience. And we'll talk about what the match was at the end of the show and how the fans reacted to it. God awful. Completely fucking god awful. The Revival versus Ryder and Hawkins, Raw Tag Team title match. The Revival lost the tag team titles at WrestleMania to Ryder and Hawkins. And here they are back on Monday Night Raw, getting a Raw Tag Team title opportunity. Am I out of my limit, or am I out of bounds by asking the simple question of why? I thought there was no rematches. I thought rematches didn't exist in the new era. Revival got no TV entrance, as usual, again, and this will continue until they're no longer in the company. With the loss of the titles, I don't understand why the Revival were getting a rematch against Ryder and Hawkins when there are no more rematch clauses or rematches in general. It wasn't even explained on commentary, or no instance of dating back to when the McMahons stated this new rule in the new era. This is the result of not having any teams and basically no plans as far as teams go. Didn't Heavy Machinery win a fatal four-way or a mini gauntlet match to become number one contenders for the tag team titles weeks ago? Why not give former tag teams in NXT like Heavy Machinery an opportunity for a nice spot to get over with the hot crowd for the first match of Raw after Mania? Now, I didn't expect much to happen here because of the impending superstar shakeup. And as far as tag teams go in the tag team division, I was willing to give this one more week to see what WWE does to hopefully invigorate a dead division and see where they shuffle the majority of the teams that the company does have right now in the division. But that really set me just on a completely different level. I'm asking these questions and I'm legitimately getting no answer. And I'm the one who's always fucking negative. Maybe you don't pay attention enough. Or maybe I'm just smarter than you. Either way, I'm right. No reason why these rematches should happen when it was stated that there's no rematches. After you lose the title, get to the back of the line. Completely ridiculous. So, the match itself was fine. It was a basic match. I mean, there was really no difference between this match and the match that they had at WrestleMania, to be perfectly honest with you. We had a brainbuster on the outside. Most of this match was Kurt Hawkins being beat down. Zack Ryder gets the hot tag. Shit breaks down at the end. There was an instance, by the way, before the brainbuster, of the Revival doing the heart attack. Now, they're known to do the Hart Foundation's old finishing move, but it means a little bit more to them now because of what happened to Bret Hart at the Hall of Fame. So that was nice to see, a nice homage to the Hart Foundation. Dawson was on the outside. Brainbuster on the outside to Hawkins. Dawson then leaped off the top rope. I believe Dash had Ryder in a burning hammer position. Dawson jumped off the top rope and kneed Ryder off of Dash's shoulder for a near fall. Revival gave the Shatter Machine their finishing move to Zack Ryder, but Hawkins was actually the legal man. No matter how smart the Revival are, the legal man was the one who was brainbusted on the outside. So he rolled up Dawson and yanked on his trunks. He pulled the tights for the win, and they steal another victory and retain the tag team championships. So I guess the Revival are done now completely. Now there's no more tag team titles. In fact, I'm making a bold prediction. I think Corey Graves uttered something along the lines of, we don't even know if there's going to be any tag teams next week. I'm making a bold prediction that Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson get split up and the Revival is done. Might happen. I would not be shocked if that happens whatsoever. Now, we went from that to Baron Corbin and him bragging about his win over Kurt Angle. Nobody cared about it at WrestleMania. Nobody cares about it here. Baron Corbin's in the ring, called himself Brooklyn's favorite son. Corbin walked to the ring looking very proud of himself. Fans were chanting, asshole. I would love to have a gimmick that is so hated that I would love to hear the fans chant down upon me, asshole. It's gonna be a good feeling for Baron Corbin. Really. Now, people legitimately don't like him. Now, some people might misconstrue that as, oh, he's just doing his job. But I honestly think people don't want anything to do with Baron Corbin. And he's one of those guys that just does not generate interest in the right way for a WWE crowd. No matter who is in attendance. I think Baron Corbin has that get off my TV vibe. Yeah, he may be a very good heel. He may be a good promo, but Baron Corbin right now is not really doing anything as far as getting interest from who he's standing in front of. Fans are chanting asshole. Graves said it's a trademark of the post-WrestleMania crowd. There you go. They didn't really utter the fact that, this is the Raw after Mania. The one night of the year where you usually boo people you cheer, and you cheer people that you usually boo. They didn't really utter that. They didn't even make a mention of it tonight, which I'm completely fucking shocked by. Anyway, that was the one thing that Corey Graves said on commentary. Corbin thanked them, and he said he considers it a compliment. He said he's heard everyone telling him Angle deserved someone better for his final opponent. That's because he did. He said Angle chose him, and he showed all of them that Angle doesn't deserve to be in the same ring as him. Fans then chanted, "Shut the fuck up." I love it. I love it. My favorite shut the fuck up chant was when Roman Reigns was in the ring after he defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33, and the man legitimately didn't even say anything, and the fans were telling him to shut the fuck up. That was one of the greatest moments in Monday Night Raw history. I'll never forget that. Corbin said he'd expect nothing less for a bunch of dirty New Yorkers. It's what we do, bro. It's what we do. He said he is used to people doubting him in spite of his list of accomplishments. Let's run down the list of accomplishments, people. Former Money in the Bank winner. He lost that Money in the Bank briefcase to Jinder Mahal, as I believe Jinder Mahal pinned him for the retaining of the WWE Championship many years ago. Jinder Mahal, by the way, that just went through a 10-15 minute match with John Cena, and he rolled up Baron Corbin. And Baron Corbin lost his Money in the Bank briefcase. Once upon a time, I was actually a fan of Baron Corbin. No longer. No longer. You can blame WWE for that. And you can blame the wardrobe department, too, because I don't know if he's bringing out mozzarella sticks, working at Fridays, or he's actually a professional wrestler. In fact, I'll take an order of pot stickers and mozzarella sticks, and I'll take a seltzer with lime, please. Mr. Corbin. Dirty New Yorkers, he says. I'm actually quite clean, Corbin. Quite clean. Can't say the same for the fucking people at the Barclays Center, I'm sure. Now, he proved everybody wrong at WrestleMania. He said he proved that he's better than an Olympic gold medalist. So after that dominating victory, he feels like he deserves a gold medal of his own. And Angle's music plays, he comes on out. Figured we've seen the last of Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. Man, WWE just doesn't know when to quit. Angle retired at WrestleMania, and here he is on Monday Night Raw, again, doing the "you suck" hand motion. I am over it. Yet this is a new era, this is a fresh start, this is the Raw after Mania. All that other fucking bullshit. Angle's music plays, he walks out. Cole said that those chants are chants of affection for Angle. Graves says you never know because some people might have actually changed their minds after WrestleMania. Maybe. Angle said last night Corbin was the better man, and now his career is officially over. He said Corbin's career is just getting started, so he wished him all the luck in the world. Corbin smiled and shook his hand. Then he says he wishes him bad luck and gave Baron Corbin the Angle Slam. Then he put him in the ankle lock, and Corbin was crying out in pain, slithered out of the ring, and that was pretty much it. Kurt Angle's in the ring, and then all of a sudden, Lars Sullivan comes out. His ominous music plays, and we've been hearing about him for months. This man was heralded as the biggest free agent in the history of WWE. Comes on out. He stands face to face with Kurt Angle, and he gives him the freak accident. That's his finishing move. And then he goes up to the top rope, and Angle was actually pretty far away, and Lars Sullivan is actually very fucking impressive. He got massive height and massive distance on what he did, delivered a devastating flying headbutt to Kurt Angle, and that was it. It's good to see Lars Sullivan back. This company needs dominating fucking heels like Lars Sullivan. He looked fantastic. He looked in the best shape I've ever seen him. But I have one real worry with Lars Sullivan. I honestly think Lars Sullivan's going to be one of those guys that does not get by with the fans. I honestly think Lars Sullivan is going to be one of those guys that the fans just don't give a shit about, no matter how dominant WWE books him. No matter what he does, who he destroys, and how many titles he wins, I honestly think the fans are not going to fucking invest their time into what Lars Sullivan is trying to do. I honestly think after 2 or 3 months, he will be deemed a failure. And that's not because of his own doing. I honestly think Lars Sullivan has an opportunity here to be something really, really fucking good on the main roster. He was built for the main roster. Lars Sullivan's makeup is for the main roster. I just don't think the fans are going to give a fuck about him. We'll see what happens. But I could honestly see Lars Sullivan being one of the few guys to step up and be Seth Rollins' first challenger for the Universal Championship. We'll see what happens. I hope I'm wrong. But that Brooklyn crowd, they didn't give a shit. They didn't give one single shit about Lars Sullivan destroying a Hall of Famer who just retired at WrestleMania. Now, I would have used him in a better situation. Lars Sullivan coming out and destroying Kurt Angle really didn't do anything for me. He's fucking Kurt Angle, and he retired, and he lost to Baron Corbin just 24 hours ago at WrestleMania. They could have used him in a better spot and in a more dominant display, in my honest opinion. That's just me. Alexa Bliss versus Bayley. Bliss wins in 3 minutes. This was sloppy. This was really fucking sloppy. Alexa Bliss is back in the ring. God help us all. Bayley went for a sunset flip attempt and grabbed the ropes. I don't even think she realized that she had her hand on the rope. Referee looked at her like, what the fuck you doing? You're pinning Alexa Bliss. I can't make the count because your hand's on the rope. You're cheating using heel tactics against the fucking heel. So then Bayley went for a sunset flip again, and she launched Alexa Bliss's head into the turnbuckle. It looked fucking brutal. Bliss got up, right up with a DDT, planted Bayley for the DDT and the win, and that was it. I don't know what the fuck that was, but Bayley losing to Alexa Bliss in 3 minutes doesn't seem like anything to do with a former tag team champion in WWE. This honestly looked like it was some sort of punishment for Bayley. To lose to Alexa Bliss by DDT in 3 minutes after losing the tag team titles 24 hours ago at WrestleMania? What's going on with Sasha and Bayley? I don't know. I don't really know. This was way too decisive for my liking. Becky Lynch came out, start of hour 2. You deserve it. We did it, she said. She called herself Becky Two Belts. Obviously, the Brooklyn crowd had a chant, Becky Two Belts at Becky Lynch. Sounds like a t-shirt. Fans chanted Becky Two Belts. She said it was nice to hear everybody, and that actually has a nice ring to it. Becky said Rousey and Charlotte touted their resumes for weeks and weeks, but at WrestleMania, this woman who walked in with nothing left with everything. She said she's not the strongest, the fastest, the most athletic woman in the company, but she has a good theme song. And the fans were singing her theme song with no music playing. So that's how much this woman is over amongst the WWE universe. She said leaving home at age 15 and looking to fight around the world taught her to be a master of surviving. She said she will always persist and overcome and find a way to win in the end. You're the man, chanted the fans. You hear that, Ronnie? You little weirdo? So when you're done sulking and want to come back for a little bit more, the man will be waiting here for you to slap your head off your shoulders once again. Becky said as for Charlotte, the McMahon family will probably hand her a tag team title opportunity to help her get over losing her title again. Fucking classic. She said she knows she's a marked woman now, but she's the redhead with the 2 shiny titles, ready to slap the heads off of all of you. She held her belts up high, and fans chanted Becky, and that was pretty much it. Simple, to the point. It got over with the fans. They enjoyed Becky standing there with the 2 titles, showing them off. It was a good moment. Until we get Lacey Evans walking out, and here is this fucking waste of roster space making her way down the aisle. Now, I didn't really think anything was going to come of it, but then all of a sudden she delivers her women's right right into Becky Lynch's face. She punches Becky Lynch, and there is a huge brawl between Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans on the ramp. Now, this looked like it was setting up, I hope not, Lacey Evans as the first challenger for Becky Lynch following her win at WrestleMania. I don't know why this would be a thing. She's done nothing. She's walked up and down the aisle for about 3 months with not one punch thrown in the middle of the ring. And we're going to be giving this woman a women's championship opportunity against Becky Lynch. Where's everybody else? Where's the fucking line? I'm sure Ember Moon wants an opportunity. I'm sure Asuka would love another opportunity. But no, we got to give it to Lacey Evans. So at this moment, my heart was skipping a beat because I could see WWE going right back into the same bullshit that they always love to be in. Big-breasted blonde getting a title opportunity. We need someone to fit right next to Alexa Bliss and right next to Charlotte Flair. I hope to God not. I really hope to God not. Can't just walk into any opportunity that you want. What about Lars Sullivan? We could put Lars Sullivan in the Universal title picture and have him challenge Seth Rollins. Why not that? Lacey Evans is going to get a women's championship opportunity for literally doing nothing, coming out in summer dresses for 3 months. This was fucking terrible. Absolutely zero excitement about what is to come here. Becky had a good promo, but Lacey Evans needs to do much, much more for me to even give a shit about what she is presenting here on Monday Night Raw. Charlie Caruso interviewed Seth Rollins. Seth said he lives for challenges. Why did you put your title up against Kofi Kingston? He says he respects he respects the fact that he challenged him man-to-man, but he feels a bit insulted that, the New Day showed up to his show. He said that they have now to accept the consequences for their actions. He said Kofi's capable of an A-level performance, but he better be prepared to bring his A-game because if he's going to take the title off of his shoulder, he said B+ won't be enough. So there you go. That's a little jab there by Seth Rollins, booking what was not even the main event of the show. Bobby Roode and Shad Gable versus Ricochet and Alistair Black. We had Ricochet make his entrance. No lasers, by the way. No lasers for Ricochet. They did away with the lasers on the main roster. Meanwhile, they were such a cool aspect to his entrance on NXT. Alistair Black, on the other hand, apparently there was a malfunction with his little platform that he raises up on. So, I want you guys to understand this. I don't complain just because it's cool or because it's a gimmick, okay? You don't need to change something that isn't broken. Like Ricochet's lasers and WWE adding this creepy like horror house, scary fucking creaking and whatever the fuck they're doing with Alistair Black's entrance. Right? This haunted house fucking theatric that they got going on with Alistair Black's entrance. Comes up on the board and there's like a fucking haunted house door creaking in the background. So the platform was botched. It was broken. And they still gave you the effect of the creaking noise, even though the thing didn't fucking work. And he didn't come up on the board. He just emerged from the smoke. So when you look back at it, he's not coming back on the board, but you hear the fucking creaking and cracking sound anyway on the program. Now, if you didn't add that into the entrance, if you didn't put that little fucking bullshit into his entrance, how do you think it would have looked in the aftermath of it? It wouldn't look that fucking stupid. So the fact that they added it and the shit was broken, it just makes them look stupid. It makes Alistair Black's entrance look fucking retarded. Don't change what is not broken, please. Fucking idiots over there on Monday Night Raw. Because it's an NXT thing, it got over in NXT. We gotta change it because they're on the main roster right now. Isn't that what NXT is for? To primp and prime these guys for the main roster? Take them. Take what they've learned there and what they've accomplished there and just apply it on the main roster. And start booking them in better matches. Roode and Gable, Ricochet and Black. This was actually a decent match. New York didn't appreciate it. And they were doing the wave, and I think somebody had a fucking brawl, or maybe there was a beach ball in the crowd. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but for half the match, the Brooklyn crowd did not pay attention to what was going on in the ring with Alistair Black and Ricochet. Now, I don't blame them. I really do not blame them. It's shitty that they're doing this during an Alistair Black and Ricochet match, because they don't deserve it, but this is supposed to be the Raw after Mania. This is supposed to be fresh and new and exciting. Didn't we see this already? This is just rinse and repeat from what we've seen weeks ago already. Please. Something new. And if the Superstar Shakeup is next week, get these guys away from one another. One on Raw and one on SmackDown. They do not need to be a tag team anymore. The Dusty Classic is over. These guys need to be individual from now on. This was actually a decent match. Gable landed a moonsault. Black made the save. Roode and Black tumbled at ringside to the floor. Gable rolled up Ricochet. Ricochet rolled through, landed a single knee codebreaker for the win here. Ricochet and Black win in 11 minutes. Afterward, Roode attacked Ricochet after the bell rung. Then he helped Gable out of the ring. So it looks like we got the Glorious Ones kind of a little on edge. Looks like they got some heel tendencies to them. But knowing WWE, they'll probably end up breaking up Roode and Gable, which might be a good thing. It actually might be a good thing. It might not be a good thing for Chad Gable, but I don't even want to sit here and say it's a good thing, because if I'm going to say it's a good thing, then I'm having hope in WWE bringing Bobby Roode back to the NXT version of Bobby Roode, and we know that's not going to happen. So you might as well just keep them together, because if you break them up, Bobby Roode and Shad Gable will probably be worse off for it. They'll go nowhere. They'll be right back to where they were before this glorious tag team was even a thing. So keep them together. I think we could use teams like this in the tag team division. And you know what? They grew on me. Roode and Gable as a tag team actually grew on me. Because I understood the fact and I accepted the fact that Bobby Roode was going to be nowhere near his NXT counterpart. Not going to happen. So he's got a good thing here. You might as well just keep running with it. Ricochet and Black win, and I hope that they get broken up and we start seeing individual performances from both guys moving forward, especially with the shakeup. Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose last ever Monday Night Raw match. Who do you think they book him against? Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, someone with something that has, I guess, importance, something of importance. No. Bobby Lashley. How could we make Dean Ambrose exit the most unceremonious fucking exit humanly possible? Bobby Lashley. No green contacts tonight. Just regular Bobby Lashley. They added green contacts to Bobby Lashley's act at WrestleMania, but they forgot one important aspect to the overall package of a pro wrestler: charisma. Bobby Lashley versus Dean Ambrose didn't even take place. Bobby Lashley came out with Lio Rush. Renee Young on commentary. Yeah, we know she's terrible. We know. Michael Cole noted that Renee is Dean's wife. Finally. After months of being on color commentary, now the words finally came out. That's your husband, Renee, isn't it? He said it has to be an odd situation for them. He said it's been an emotional couple of weeks. Rush and Lashley looked unhappy to be IC titleless. Good. Lashley told Dean, not to worry, when you're gone, I'll be sure to take care of your wife. I'm watching this and I'm asking myself why. Why was something like that said? If this is the man's last true episode of Monday Night Raw, if this is his last day in WWE, was that comment really necessary? Really? I mean, this guy has been, honestly, the Cal Ripken of WWE. The guy's been the Iron Man of WWE. Every time someone went down with an injury, he was there to take their place. The guy worked his ass to the bone for 300 days a year, not missing anything, working hurt. They had to force this guy to fucking go get surgery because otherwise he wouldn't have gone to go get surgery to get himself fixed up. He would have just continuously went out there and performed. That's what he does. This guy gave you everything for 5 years, and you have him go out there on Monday Night Raw in his last night on the show for the company. If it really is, great. Good for him. He deserves better. And this is probably the best career move that he could possibly make. But you're going to have him go out on his quote-unquote last night in the company, and you're going to have Bobby Lashley script a line in his promo saying, "Don't worry, Dean, I'll take care of your wife while you're gone." What type of shit is that? That's a fucking disrespect if I ever seen one. Jesus Christ. I didn't agree with that at all. Just really fucking lame. It's not even heel. It's not even heel heat. Nobody gives a shit about Bobby Lashley. So you're going to script him to say something like that. So Dean obviously got pissed, charged at Lashley, fought him at ringside. Cole said it's Lashley just trying to play mind games. Dean threw a chair at Lashley's head at ringside in the timekeeper's area, threw him into the ring post. They walked up to the stage. And Lio Rush was running around like a fucking clown. Walking around like a clown, running around like a clown. He was engaging Dean Ambrose and then backing away like a fucking scared child. This was like a fucking circus, like a comedy act. Lio Rush went from being, something cool on 205 Live and, a guy with all this promise, and now he's nothing more than a fucking comedy act. It's unreal. So, they're on the stage, and Dean fought Lashley up to the ramp, threw him into the LED boards, and DDT'd him on stage. So now Dean Ambrose is angry. He's clearing off the announce desk. And Lashley gets up and spears him on the stage. So at the end of all this, Lashley slammed Dean with a spine buster through the announce table, and Renee went over to go check on him, looking all concerned. And that was it. Thank you, Ambrose, says Brooklyn. Thank you, Ambrose. Thank you for coming. Give Cody a call. He's waiting for you. Moving on here, man. Mojo Rowley, he looked into a broken mirror and talked about how he missed WrestleMania. Where are you? Where are you? Where have you been? Catering. 7 years bad luck with broken mirrors, Mojo. Obviously, you ain't going nowhere. He had some weird fucking makeup on his eye. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Where are you? Catering. Titus is calling. He's got green beans. Go. Sami Zayn. I'm a Sami Zayn mark, and I'm damn proud of it. Sami Zayn, 10 months out with injury. Double shoulder surgery. Two torn rotator cuffs. Now, I didn't even agree with this. I did not even agree with this. How simple is it to WWE? How simple of a fucking concept for WWE to fuck up? Sami Zayn, right? Out for 10 months. People know of Sami Zayn. It's fucking Brooklyn, for Christ's sakes. People know of Sami Zayn. Would it have been so hard to not show him walking in the locker room to the ring before the commercial? Would it have been so difficult to just play his music on the PA and pop the crowd in a big surprise manner? So stupid. Little things like that are what piss me off. Now, the crowd seen Sami Zayn walking in the dressing room to the ring, so they anticipated and seen that he was coming out. How much of a bigger reaction it would have been if they just played his theme music and nobody knew that he was fucking there or going to come out. They don't do what is right. They blatantly just do the wrong fucking thing. This company is a bunch of fucking idiots, man. So stupid. Really stupid. Sami Zayn is out there. Welcome back. He's in the ring. He said if he's going to miss WrestleMania, you might as well come back the night after WrestleMania. This will be hard to believe, but my schedule's wide open. He asked for someone from the back to come on out and give him a match. He waited. Told everybody not to be shy. Then all of a sudden, Finn Balor's music comes out. I'm like, okay. I could deal with this. I could deal with Finn Balor and Sami Zayn on Monday Night Raw. So we get an impromptu Sami Zayn Balor match, and then Mike Rome says this match is for the Intercontinental title. Awesome. Great. I knew Sami Zayn wasn't going to win the fucking title, but it was great nonetheless. I thought something would happen. Maybe Kevin Owens comes out. Maybe he saves his friend from losing his first match back. Nothing. Sami Zayn loses here to the coup de grace in 12 minutes, loses his first match back. So Sami missed 10 months and went right back to being where he was before he went out. A loser. Great job, WWE. This was actually not bad. Sami hit an exploder suplex in the corner. He did the Blue Thunder Bomb. Never wins with it. He won with it once on SmackDown Live. I don't remember who it was with, but he did win with it once. Now, I've always said for forever that Sami Zayn should switch up the way he does things. The setup should be the Helluva Kick, and the finisher should be the Blue Thunder Bomb. It's just a lot prettier of a move. It looks more impactful as a finisher. So he did the Blue Thunder Bomb. He got a near fall. The Helluva Kick he went for, Balor moved. Balor quickly leapt off the top rope with a double stomp for the win, and that was pretty much it. Graves said that's not the finish Sami was hoping for, but Balor answered the call. He defended the title, and he retains the title on Monday Night Raw. Sami in the ring with the microphone again. He got some cheers after Balor had left. Says he really thought about coming out here, and he thought about coming out here and how it would cure him, how it would cure of what's ailing him. But all it did was reinforce what he realized over the last 10 months, which is that everyone genuinely missed him. I did. I'm a huge Sami Zayn mark, man. Fans even chanted Sami. He stood up and he said, he can honestly say from the bottom of his heart, from the bottom of my heart, I did not miss any of this or any of you. So obviously, Sami was a heel before he went out, and he came back as a babyface. They played up the fact that he was a babyface. He lost, so then he turned on the crowd. I didn't really mind that at all. I think Sami as a heel was great, and I wanted to see more of that, and it looks like we are going to get more of that here with his return. All the cheers turned to boos, which was great. He smiled. It turns out WWE is a super toxic environment. He said it's not because of the McMahons or any of the other WWE superstars. He said it's because of the audience and their ugliness. He said he lives a very meaningful and fulfilled life. He said he's quite happy, but their lives, pointing to the Brooklyn crowd, seem so empty and devoid of any kind of meaning, so the only joy you get out of your life is from being critics rather than enjoying the show. Is Sami Zayn throwing me under the bus right now? I don't know what's going on here. So he pointed to somebody in the crowd and proceeded to call them a moron. Sounds like me. He said it's the only thing that gives them a sense of importance. Ooh. Sami going right for the fucking jugular here, man. He said they judge everything except themselves. He said none of them have the balls to look inside themselves because they know the ugliness and cynicism that exist inside them. He said they are delusional. Do you really think you're the voice of reason and the voices that should be heard? Seemingly overnight, you have become the evil overlords of WWE. He said he's always been about one thing his entire career and life, doing what is right. He says it's not to come back to save WWE or take WWE. He said the right thing is to do, the right thing to do is to come on out here every single week and hold each one of you accountable because nobody else will. Then he ended with, see you in hell, and tossed the microphone down. I don't know what's going on here, but I love the truth in Sami's promo, and I love that they are using what WWE really feels about their audience, and they're trying to portray that through Sami Zayn. I think he's the right type of guy to be a Daniel Bryan-esque heel on Monday Night Raw. This is very Daniel Bryan-esque in the way he delivered it, in the way he worded it, and it was coded in truth, which fans are going to gravitate more because that's the genuine WWE fan nowadays. That's social media. That is Reddit right there. I thought that was great. I just don't like the fact that everything that he said is pretty much about me. I'm not delusional, though. And I'm not someone who is, devoid of, what do we say, devoid, he's the voice of reason. He said that my life is empty and devoid of any meaning. That's not me. That's not really me. Judge myself. I judge myself every day. So some of that's about me. So Sami Zayn threw me under the bus on Monday Night Raw. There you go. Anyway, moving on here. We have Dana Brooke. Why this woman is on the Raw after Mania, I don't know. I'm sure you guys were thinking the same thing. We had Dana Brooke being interviewed by this new blonde, Sarah Schreiber, I think her name is. Whatever conveyor belt she rolled off of, I don't know. But she interviewed Dana Brooke. She congratulated Becky for being the champ. Her Dana Brooke is the champ of catering, man. Devouring cheesecake in under a minute and a half. A nice slice of thick New York cheesecake, man. She's actually got a plaque on the wall in catering. That's what I was told. I don't know. She said there's a line forming of women looking to challenge Becky. Now, I honestly think she got the line in catering mixed up with the line for the Women's Championship. There's no way this woman could be talking about the Women's Championship. She's talking about the line to catering. At that moment, it was too long. That's the line she was talking about. She said she cannot say she's in the front of the line. She usually never is. She's always late to catering. This is what I get from my sources. She loves the fried chicken, and she loves the cranberry sauce, I believe, that Titus has. I believe it's only on Wednesdays that they have cranberry sauce. Apparently, Titus makes a great Caesar salad as well. She's always late, and most of the salad is gone. So this is what she's talking about. I don't know. This woman cannot be talking about women's championship opportunities. She's certainly not in the back of the line anymore. Well, clearly the line is moving. Matt Hardy is not a fan of the cranberry sauce, so he's going to skip that. He's going to leave that mostly to you. She said she's going to seize that moment and congratulate Becky again on her accomplishments. Who cares? Why they're continuing to give this woman camera time is absolutely fucking abysmal. I don't know who is going to invest their time in Dana Brooke. Awful. Elias in the middle of the ring. And this is the same old shit every fucking week. Said Cena ruined his WrestleMania moment for a second year in a row. Said 1 year from now, it will be a different story. So is this, I don't know what they're doing with Elias. Is this WWE trying to turn over a new leaf with Elias? They went right back to doing the same shit with the interruptions. I thought it was over at WrestleMania. And here they are doing the same shit. So Elias said Cena is no musician and no artist, but rather a selfish, insecure, fake, humble piece of garbage who is riding the coattails of his popularity. Cena's not even there anymore. He showed up at WrestleMania because it's fucking WrestleMania. Everybody shows up to WrestleMania. Cena's not even on the active roster anymore. Says he's WWE's top star. He threw some insults back in John Cena. He mentioned holding up 3 fingers. John Cena, the middle one is for you. Then he said the next man to interrupt him is a dead man. And within mere seconds, the Undertaker's gong goes off. Undertaker walked to the ring. Everybody was going crazy. The blackness of the night filled the Barclays Center. The lightning and the thunder filled the Barclays Center. Undertaker stood in the middle of the ring. He stood there fucking motionless. He just stared a hole right through Elias. Fans began chanting Undertaker and holy shit. Elias didn't know whether he wanted to leave the ring or get into the ring and stay there. So he eventually put his guitar down. He took his microphone off. He took his jacket off. He was there in nothing more than a tank top and black jeans. And he turned around and he was dwarfing the Undertaker as if he was the fucking Great Khali. So he stepped up to the Undertaker. Undertaker steps up to him. Elias steps up again. Undertaker steps up right to Elias. Then Elias turns his back to the Undertaker, contemplates it for a minute, goes to punch the Undertaker, is met with a big boot, a chokeslam, and a tombstone, and that was it. That was it. Why is this a surprise to anybody? I reported this on Off the Script. If you were genuinely shocked by any of this, you clearly aren't watching my content. This was very predictable. The Raw after Mania is something of a fresh start for everybody. Not the sight of a 54-year-old Undertaker who is merely back for a Saudi payday. This did nothing for me. This could have easily happened at WrestleMania. Clearly, The Undertaker was in town. But this is what they wanted to do. Instead of giving us fucking John Cena and Kurt Angle and having this happen at WrestleMania, they gave us John Cena and Elias at WrestleMania, Corbin and Angle at WrestleMania, and they saved this garbage for the Raw after Mania. A complete waste of 10 minutes. Elias is buried. He was buried already. We didn't need The Undertaker to fucking tombstone him on Monday Night Raw to get the point. Elias is nothing more than a comedy act that is obviously not on WWE's priority list. He's nothing more than a running joke. But listen, he's got the easiest job in the world. Comes out there, strums a few fucking notes, and he gets interrupted by anybody and everybody. Nobody's got a better job than Elias is in the Brock Lesnar category. He does nothing. Absolutely nothing. Kofi Kingston and Seth Rollins, WWE champ versus Universal Champion, winner take all. This was fucking terrible. Listen, I was enjoying the match for what it was, but I don't know how much more ranting I could actually do on it because I said everything I needed to say in the beginning of this show. This was a big fucking swerve, a bait and switch that fell completely on its face. This was a fuck you to from WWE to its fans, all because of the NCAA college basketball finals. Instead of actually building this match on WWE and giving the fans something that they could genuinely go home and feel happy about, booking a creative fuck finish in a way, because we knew that this match wasn't going to end clean. We knew that there wasn't going to be an end to the brand split. Give us the match and creatively book around it. But instead, WWE used this as a way for people to stick with the show and not have them switch over to CBS. So when they got to a point in which it was maybe half of the basketball game, it was at the end of the first half, then WWE was like, all right, we'll bait and switch them. We'll send Sheamus and Cesaro out there. But man, you fucked over everybody in that audience to a point where you had your new Universal Champion and your new WWE Champion completely disrespected by everyone in attendance. 15,000 at the Barclays Center disrespected someone who they fucking loved at WrestleMania in both Seth and Kofi Kingston. How fucking stupid is WWE? That crowd, after the bar came out there, chanted, "We want refunds." There was 3 beach balls being thrown around. Cesaro got his hands on 2. They were chanting, "We want beach balls. This is bullshit. We want refunds." There was a wave, and there was even an audible chant of AEW. I shit you not. WWE had Kofi and Seth Rollins have a decent match out of nowhere. I was like this. The fucking bar? What are they doing on Monday Night Raw? Why? Out of all the fucking people on that roster, Sheamus and Cesaro? People wanted the Undisputed Era. Why would you wish that upon all 4 members of Undisputed Era? I don't even know where this rumor got started. Didn't we get enough NXT call-ups? They're not even using 25% of the call-ups that they called up already. And you want Adam Cole on Monday Night Raw. Man, you must not really love Adam Cole then, if you want to bestow this fucking show upon him. God knows what they do with Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Fucking Christ. They probably split up all 4 of them. Roderick Strong on 205 Live. They'll probably put Bobby Fish with EC3. Kyle O'Reilly would probably be a fucking unofficial member of the New Day. He could just fucking stand there and air guitar. Adam Cole? Forget about it. He'd be fed to Roman Reigns within 3 weeks. Oh, you got greasy hair too? Oh, look at me. Battle of the greasy-haired fucking WWE superstars. Even though Adam Cole's got better hair than Roman Reigns. That'll admit. But this was fucking terrible. This was absolutely terrible. This I keep calling it a go-home show. This Raw after Mania was fucking one of the worst I've ever seen. Where was everything? No Sasha Banks, no Ronda Rousey, no Charlotte Flair, no Drew McIntyre, no Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns came back from leukemia, slayed Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. No Roman Reigns. I don't want one person to tell me that WWE is protecting Roman Reigns for storyline purposes. They didn't bring Roman Reigns out because they knew that Roman Reigns in front of that crowd on the Raw after Mania would have been booed out of the fucking building. They know better than to put Roman Reigns in front of a Raw after Mania crowd. Just look at WrestleMania 33. They didn't want to repeat that again. They know better. They purposely kept him off TV because it was a major city that isn't a city like fucking Bumblefuck, Montana, where you got you got some fucking farmer with a grassy fucking piece of hay coming out of his fucking mouth. He don't know any better. Sitting there cheering Roman Reigns on with the fucking with the wife and the fucking 16 kids. They didn't put Roman Reigns on this show because of the fact that it was in New York City. Every city that is New York, Philly, Chicago, Los Angeles, Miami, you name it. Those cities will not see Roman Reigns. They did it already. They did it already on the road to WrestleMania. They didn't bring him. What was it? Boston? What city was it? Chicago? It was Chicago. They didn't bring him out in Chicago. He had a match with Drew McIntyre they're building towards. He didn't come out. They played it off as concussion symptoms. Man, the agenda. Now they're hiding the agenda away from the major cities because they don't want him to be portrayed as a guy the fans don't like. He's got to be looked at as the hero. Give me a fucking break, man. You people are fucking gullible idiots if you believe they kept him off of the show for whatever reason. This is the reason they kept him off the show. Yet this is a Raw after Mania. Your biggest guy on the brand is not on the show? Oh my God, man. Let me tell you something. Who won the match? Seth and Kofi won in 9 minutes. You know? Listen. You guys should know better. You know, I'm on here every fucking week. I'm on here every week, and I give you guys my true opinion and my thoughts on what I see. If you don't agree with me, fine. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. But I'm on here telling you exactly what is going on. And what they did tonight for a Raw after Mania was fucking miserable. Look at the talent that they left off the show, most notably Roman Reigns, for the reasons they left him off the show. Look at what they did, building a champion versus champion, winner take all. Winner take all. That was of the utmost importance at WrestleMania, but then WWE uses that same fucking catchphrase and hashtag on Raw and makes it seem like it's the fucking most unimportant thing in the world. I know what I'm talking about. You can't pretend that it's important one night and then the next night use it as a bait and switch to tell fuck you to your fans. You fucking people should know better than to go to these fucking shows. Now, I know you didn't know what was going on, but at that fucking moment, when you seen the bar come out and knew that you weren't getting a title versus title match with Seth and Kofi, how much of a fucking idiot did you feel knowing you spent all this money to sit in the Barclays Center for WWE to say, fuck you? I have no fucking pity for anybody sitting in that crowd. Every time you buy a ticket that has the WWE logo on it, you know what you're walking into. What they did tonight was absolutely deplorable. Deplorable. Not only was WrestleMania a half-assed fucking piece of shit, it was still a thumbs-up show. Don't get me wrong. But if you're going to go and claim that was one of the best WrestleManias ever, you're a fucking idiot. Look at the build that they gave you. Look at what they did to Asuka. And look at what they did tonight on the Raw. That Raw of all shows. Raw! The one Raw people are looking forward to out of the entire 52-week calendar year. And what did they do? What did they do? They made Kofi and Seth Rollins two of the biggest baby faces that this company has employed. And they single-handedly disrespected both of them, while the fans who were cheering these guys on to fucking conquer the world on Sunday night are asking and cheering for fucking refunds. Chanting for All Elite Wrestling and playing with fucking beach balls. WWE, you should be absolutely fucking ashamed of yourself for what you did tonight. The Superstar Shakeup is next week. This was supposed to signal fucking change. Fresh start. New. If that Superstar Shakeup doesn't fucking deliver, you're in for a long 2019, and I'll be right here shitting all over every fucking creative blunder that comes my way. Getting the fuck out of here. You guys should know better next time. Maybe you'll think next time WrestleMania rolls into your city to fucking, not buy a ticket for 8 hours. I had people fucking tweet me all night. I'm seriously considering not going to WrestleMania. I've been going for the last 15, 16 years. Now you know? Now you're just understanding. Same thing with Monday Night Raw. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on SmackDown Live. I'll talk to you later.